President Trump was up early through the night. 3 o'clock in the morning, he was at Andrews Air Force Base to meet three American prisoners released from North Korea. And in the last few minutes, there's been a development on that. Let's go to Washington. Barbara Pletasher can join us from there, because we were suggesting in the last hour that this would hasten a meeting between the two leaders. And indeed, in the last few minutes, it seems to have done just that.
Yes, well, Mr. Trump previewed that announcement a day ago. He said that he would be saying it within this week, essentially, and now he has, very shortly after he greeted those freed Americans at the military base just outside Washington. And so the venue is Singapore, and the date is the 12th of June. And that is after a number of different venues had been ruled out. One of them, Mr. Trump ruled out earlier this week as well. He was asked about whether this would take place in the demilitarized zone between the two Koreas, because he'd expressed an interest in having it there, perhaps because of the successful sort of pageantry that the two Korean leaders were able to show in their meeting there. But that's not happening. It is Singapore. It is the value of Singapore is that it's seen as a neutral venue in the region for this kind of meeting to take place. I think one of the concerns that was bandied about was Mr. Kim's ability to fly, whether he had aircraft to fly safely that far after all the sanctions that he's been under. But it is the choice for the venue and the date mid-June.
What's bizarre is that it's no longer bizarre that huge announcements like this are coming on Twitter with a statement, a sentence at the end of it saying, "We will both try to make it a very special moment for world peace."
Yes, you're right. I mean, it is true that that the Twitter feed has kind of directed momentous occasions in the past year, and especially in the past month, not only with the North Korea summit, but also on the Iran deal, which Mr. Trump pulled out of earlier this week. It's how he communicates. It's how he's always communicated. I mean, he's communicated like that for years, and he's really developed it in the presidency. And it also suits his style of sort of drama and the way he likes to create interest. So he'll tease things on his Twitter feed, and then he'll announce it as well. It's something that this White House has just come to accept, and you're right, we do look at our Twitter feeds much more often than we used to.
Barbara, thank you very much. Barbara Pletasher.